watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets, just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she slide and tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that shit doing. Then she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole, I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Whoa.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Dimes and a Token. I am your host, Bruck Nasty, fellow co-host, Con Yeezy.
You know what time it is.
And we also have to give a quick shout-out to our token. Once again, is unable to make it to this particular one. Again, had some handle some business downtown. So everybody, moment of silence, fallen soldier. But he's still sober.
Let's do it.
That's what we're talking about. And then we have a very special guest, which we are shooting on site in an amazing gym here in Fort Myers, right? We have Big Surge here.
Hey.
Big Surge right here.
Big Surge, you
Good to
in?
see you guys.
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, that's a good
on,
shit.
fellas.
So, Big Surge is actually a phenomenal friend of the podcast. Between me and Keon, we went to college together. My man played a little wide receiver, right? Did a little thing, did a little
Them one-on-ones was
but
deadly
we're
with
sitting
Surge.
in his personal gym where he trains people. He is a fitness trainer.
Yes, sir.
Off the charts. I'm telling you right now, the best in fucking Fort Myers, no matter what.
Yeah,
Right?
listen.
I mean, I'm not wrong here.
Not
you
at
know
all.
what I'm
Not at
saying?
all. Not
You're right on that
spot on.
But yeah, exactly. Right on.
Ball
So,
and beautiful too.
and if you guys have seen the promos to this, you guys would have seen we shot around the place a little bit. Really fantastic, amazing site. They have all kinds of extracurriculars that you can get involved in with some other businesses here. Just an amazing environment and such an amazing guy. So I'm really it's a great pod, I promise you. So, but we'll start off. What is our drink of the day here, sir?
Fellas, right now we got a strong drink here.
Yes.
A little Fiji water. for the
Fiji
drink of the day.
water.
We're keeping it healthy.
Shit.
Keeping it healthy right here.
Once
Full
again,
biscuit.
hey, 2 pods in a row, baby. No alcohol.
No alcohol.
It's a new
no
trend.
No alcohol.
It's
No
a new
alcohol.
trend. Stay healthy.
I like that.
I'm loving this.
Salute, my
Loving
boys.
this.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
Salute.
Take a shot.
Yep, take my shot.
Mm.
All right,
That water
so
tastes so good.
we have a great introduction for you, or I'm sorry, we have a great thing planned for you today. So we have a few topics we're going to hit. Number one, we're going to hit Surge's story, how he started his business. We dive into a little bit of deeper thought process for you, like maybe we get into a little bit of human nature stuff,
Okay.
right? Some
I like
predestiny type things.
I like that.
So let's kick it off. Surge, where'd you grow up, man? Where you from?
Well, I'm from here, right here in Fort Myers, man.
Yeah.
Florida boy. Grew up outside, building forts, doing a lot of fishing, playing sports since 8 years old. So right here in South Fort Myers, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up here, like I said, since 8. Pop Warner football, basketball, baseball, nonstop. You're a Florida boy. You're a
Yeah,
Florida boy.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of understand that. And it's funny. I've traveled around the world a lot, but I keep on coming back for some reason.
Yeah.
It must be the palm trees and
There's
the
no
beach.
place like home, Serge. There's no place like home.
It really is not.
Click
Palm
the feet,
trees
click the
and-
feet together. It's no
Yes,
palm
sir.
trees.
You know, have naked women on the beach.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
whatever.
I'm
Right.
Hey, that's what we're going after. This.
Oh,
But nevertheless,
shit.
Yes, sir.
So, we played football together, right? We went to Weber together. What were the years you went to college?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So I went to college. I graduated high school in 2006. So 2006 to 2010 is actually I was at Weber International with you guys.
Yeah.
So I think we came into the exact same year.
Yeah.
we came in the exact
give him
same-
I
hell.
came in the year after.
Yeah, he was giving me hell.
we came in-
He was giving
I
me
still
hell.
got headaches from the board drills at
Yeah,
Keon.
you know-
I
you
used
know
to-
it's-
I'm trying to figure out why receivers and DBs did so many damn board drills, but
Shout out to Kelly Scott.
that's another topic.
Damn.
And then we met the next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
So
we did.
that's been, I guess, 15, 16 years now.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's a long time.
And just a quick note on that, like we were talking about, that's why I'm just so happy to see the progression of us, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy to see you guys being successful in your work and now creating this. Once I saw the text message, I'm like, I'll support anything you guys do, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because you guys have always been
Ain't
stand up,
nothing but love.
stand up, solid
Nothing
dudes
but
since
love.
day one.
Shit.
Since
Nothing
day
but love.
one.
There we
Number
go.
love.
So
So we were at Weber, yeah.
yeah. So now, what was the highlight of Weber like for you? What was the best parts?
Man, the best part about Weber was the relationships, for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely the relationships I made with teammates and other students and stuff. Football was great too because we traveled a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We didn't win as much as I wanted to because I'm obsessed with winning.
Yeah.
But we had great experiences, man. We went from California to West Virginia to all over the nation, really. And it was fun playing college football, even at that level. I know we played at a smaller level,
Yeah.
but I had a blast with that.
Man, I tell everyone, I played against any type of athletes. I used to train with athletes as in University of Colorado, UM athletes, and it really boiled down to coaching.
Yes, sir.
It had nothing to do with talent. I feel like our talent can match up with anybody.
Yes.
It was just more in the lines of their coaching philosophy, their discipline, and so on and so forth. And
For sure.
by training with Serge, I knew he was one of the most disciplined people you can have.
Yeah.
Like before practice, after practice, running the sand hills together.
Yes, sir.
He
That's
was
what we did.
always getting in that extra work. So it was nothing for him to do the hard work, to do the things that people didn't want to do. A lot of our receivers had to do a lot more blocking than catching. Let's just call
That's
it what
true.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that was our philosophy back then and there.
Yes.
You know what? It's so funny, man. I had a similar type philosophy. I worked my ass off when I was in the gym, but I loved to party.
Yeah.
I had a great fucking time when I was in college. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We did have some fun parties, by the way, too.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes.
In that small town, man. It was. Overall, I had a great experience in college. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I always tell everyone those
I had
are the
great
best
experience.
years. Those are the best years. You ain't have
100%.
school on Wednesday, so you can do whatever you want on Tuesday.
yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
it wasn't that bad
That was
to
fantastic.
in every aspect of it. You can't look back and say, I want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
I
And,
enjoyed
you know,
it.
one other thing I want to touch about our college was cool is that me being a travel freak,
Yeah.
we had so many international students. And I remember having friends from Mongolia, Spain, Brazil.
Yes.
I mean, all over, Miami.
No, that's
you ever think about
that's
that?
a great point. Yeah,
I had
we
roommates
had
from Spain.
friends from
I
Europe,
love that, man.
especially a lot of people in South America.
Yes.
And, that was fantastic. I love that part of the culture.
I
as
love
well.
that, man. It
Yeah.
give you a whole different perspective on like life. You know, and
Exactly.
I love
dude,
that
'cause,
aspect.
we were literally just talking about this before. What we were saying, right? We have a specific type of way of living, right?
Mhm.
And
100%.
what we have in America. Let's be real, people. We have what's called first world fucking problems,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, yes,
you know what I'm
yes,
saying? But
yes.
what were you telling us about?
I was just telling you guys, like, I have a friend that's in Kenya, and he tells me, you guys just take for granted what people from our country would die for. Like,
Yeah.
we have to stay up and protect one another. When you guys can go to sleep, it's just doing anything. Like, as long as you can afford where you stay at, you have safety.
Mm.
Where in Kenya, you don't have safety like that. Where he's from in Kenya in that regard. Like, when it comes to food, he was like, you guys can gain weight because there's a store down the road. Where I'm at, I gotta either you kill or you starve. So
Yeah.
we don't realize how good we have it here
Absolutely.
until you hear from someone else. And I met him at Weber. So
Wow.
with that being said, it's
There you
just
go.
like getting here was his accomplishment. And once he got here, he never wanted to leave. He was like, I would much rather be a greeter at Walmart and
Yeah.
sustain my way of living than to go back home
Damn.
and not know where my next
That's
meals
a
come
fucking
from.
wild concept. First world problem, bro.
Yeah.
That's
I-
real.
I'd be a great ribeye for a fucking lion.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Boy,
Without
got
a
a little
shadow.
juice in it.
I'm not running.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not running. I'm not running.
Hey,
You
and that's
right.
my one plug why everybody out there needs to go and take a trip and travel and see different countries, because if you don't have that change in perspective, you're gonna be here
That was
complaining that your
Literally, you hit the fucking
your
next
cell
thing.
phone died and something and it's gonna ruin your day. It's like
Bro.
you got to go see shacks in these different countries.
If
and-
you
and
guys
see
get
struggle,
a chance, check out Big Surge's social medias, right? Especially shout out your business real quick.
Surge Fit Health and Wellness, Surge Fit Weight Loss and Personal Training. Definitely check us out. I got an online coaching program guys can get involved in
Absolutely.
ASAP.
If you guys find some of his social media sites, you'll see some fucking amazing things on there. I was actually impressed as hell, right? This dude, you went to Mexico,
I was in Mexico, Peru, Colombia,
right? And
Yeah.
then you're recording training videos and shit like
right in front of that pyramid.
right in front of the pyramids. Oh shit! I was like, yo. The moment I
jealous.
saw that,
So
bro, I
jealous.
was jacked up. I was
Yeah.
like, bro, I want to be a fitness trainer. And then I got up and I said, no, I don't.
Can't have everything, man.
That's
Can't have
insane,
everything.
bro.
Can't have everything.
But that was insane, man. So
Yeah.
you took the idea, so you left school and you decided to go down this lifestyle. You want to be a fitness trainer. Is it-
Okay, so it's kind of a long story, but I'll keep it kind of shorter. But
Okay.
okay,
you,
after
you don't have
school,
to paraphrase. Go ahead.
all
Just
right,
give me the
perfect.
story.
So after school, towards the end of the football career, you know how it is when we're Florida guys playing football. Everybody
Yes.
wants to go to NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, you know, and being smaller and not having those abilities, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But towards the end of my career at Weber, I had an injury. I had a hernia injury.
Mhm.
So I was actually playing the spring and then the whole summer, then played like 2 games, and it was there the whole time, but
Yeah.
we didn't have the training aptitude, I guess, to look into it. Finally, we looked into it, and they said, you've had a hernia for the last 4 months. You probably
fuck.
should redshirt. Okay.
Okay.
So
Hey, it's okay, man. Don't worry. There's some shit bulging out of your stomach.
Yeah, just
Don't worry.
ice and stem.
Yeah, for
ice and
sure.
stem. Everybody that came from Weber, y'all know that.
and
You
hey,
need
it's
it.
just
Serge, you had a flex right now. Fucking unit right now.
that's small college issues. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I would
yeah,
say
yeah,
that. It's no blame on nobody, but that's what it is. So from then I kind of finished college. I just graduated. I redshirted, but I didn't come back the next year because I was just kind of frustrated with how things went.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a failure in my eyes.
Okay.
But at the end, I don't really believe in failures. I just believe in like rerouting and learning from it. So from
Trademark
there,
trademark that.
I actually came back home and I always played basketball as well.
Yeah.
I didn't play as much in college, but a coach of mine that I knew wanted me to try out. So I was training. I actually went to Mexico to play basketball in a professional league, a lower league over there.
The fuck
And I
outta
was
here,
playing.
really?
Yes, I was playing out there and I got injured. Tore an ankle.
Ah.
Okay, so God was trying to tell me something.
Yeah. He's like, bro, hang that shit up.
You can still do the fitness.
That's exactly what God
You can
said.
still do the fitness.
Hey.
just take it in a different
Shut
direction.
the fuck down.
Yeah, it's,
Yes.
sometimes you got to transition to coaching and you don't know that. So that's
Yeah.
primarily it. Go ahead.
That's good. So that happened. So I ended up coming back, and that was a sad time because I paid for the ticket back. You know, and
They
I'm
don't
in,
pay for
Humble
any of that
moment.
stuff?
no, they
Humble
pay for you to
moment.
get out there, but professionals are ruthless.
Yeah.
You
Once
can
you're
practice
done,
one
they're
day.
like, you're. Hey, by the way, you're zero use. Find your way.
Yes,
home.
sir. Yes, sir.
No, that's like the
Get home.
XFL. Like
Yes.
the XFL before The Rock took it. Did you see that fucking podcast with Taylor Heineke? He was doing it. They were like, yeah. So what happened after you guys won? They had a bunch of seltzers and shit. They show back up to the hotel and they're just like, yeah. The league shut down. Find your way home.
That's how ruthless it is.
Shit.
That's how ruthless it is.
Cutthroat.
And I'll get into something a little later about how I was coaching in Canada for a
Yeah.
professional basketball team, strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how ruthless it was. But so I went to Mexico, which was actually Los Mochis, Sinaloa, which is where the cartel was, by the way.
Okay.
But the place was beautiful there. So you didn't go out after 9 o'clock.
You
But that's
probably
another story.
So you'll probably die, but I swear to God, it's worth
I'm
it.
going out after 9. I just
Yeah.
I gotta be in part, a part of the jungle.
Conwood, actually.
Yeah, I love to be up close and personal with the animals. That's just Miami in me. I can't do nothing about that. But go ahead, keep going.
So from there, I came back with my tail between my legs. And I came back to Fort Myers. And I was working for a little bit. I got a real estate license. And so I decided, because we had some properties out there in Puerto Rico where my family's from.
Yeah.
My grandfather passed away a couple years prior. That there were some small properties. My dad and I had decided that I would go out. I moved to Puerto Rico. I said, man, I just need to get away.
Really?
I moved to Puerto Rico for 3 years.
You just pick shit and ready to go.
Yeah, I wanted to help with the properties that we have out there. My older brother and I went. I wanted to learn Spanish better, which I did. I became fluent in Spanish. And I was blessed enough to have a place to live. They weren't the nicest places, but they were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice enough. So I fixed those up for a while, and I actually started a property management business out there.
Really?
Yes, sir. And I was out there for a couple years, and things were going pretty well. I had like 10, 12 accounts. It was slowly growing. And which is an awesome business. I love real estate on the side.
Yeah.
So I was out there for a couple years, and then the same coach gives me a call. He says, "Listen, I'm going to Canada.
Yeah.
And I know how how disciplined you are and how you are with your training. I want you to be the strength and conditioning coach and the assistant coach." I said, "Okay. I'm in the okay, I'm going to the beach 4 times a day right now. 4 times a week swimming. You want me to go to the snow?" I said, "Okay, let me think about that."
Listen, beach vibes or fuck vibes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I'm literally doing laps in crystal clear water 4 times a week.
You said yes to that shit, didn't you?
Yeah, he definitely left. It's a different avenue. He had to leave that. Go.
So something was calling, I guess, and I ended up saying yes.
I knew it.
Now to get, it's crazy, man.
Oh, we're gonna establish. Hey, we're going like this. If we hit it again,
All right,
we're hitting
bet,
that.
bet,
We're hitting
bet.
that. We're hitting that.
So, and just to backtrack, I actually started training my cousin. That was my first client I ever had out there.
Yeah,
He lost like 12 pounds, and it was for free, of course.
Yeah.
You know how family is. They don't pay
Yeah,
nothing.
of course.
They don't pay nothing.
So,
Matter of fact, it cost you.
So, exactly. So from there, I decided. I said, you know what? It was just something was inside of me saying maybe it's time to move on, because that side of Puerto Rico was great, but it was just a slower lifestyle, and I was still young, so I wanted more. I said, yeah. So he said, well, there's a loophole here. Since you'd have no experience, the owner says that you need to get a CDL license because you're gonna drive the bus too. It got quiet in here real quick.
That sounds like some small college shit.
Got quiet in here real quick.
He just stayed on the same path of just dealing with small time to get to where you wanted to be at.
So I had to go get a CDL license in Spanish, and I had to drive a big rig to do it, which I don't know why. Then from there, so I ended up doing that. I passed with a 76. You needed a 75, but
Okay.
Hey, you passed.
Okay,
You
you passed.
passed.
You passed.
It don't matter if you were ranked number 50 out of 50. I'm still ranked, bitch.
Still ranked. You're still ranked.
Talking about.
Yeah.
So I ended up, after 3 years, I moved from Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, which is on the northwest side, and then we went to Moncton, Canada.
Yeah.
Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, which is a beautiful place. And we were out there 6 months playing in this professional league where there was really good players. So I was the strength and conditioning coach, the assistant coach, the team manager, the bus driver.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was a dad.
And it's solid salary.
Yeah, and-
25K a year.
You know he wasn't getting paid for that.
I know, man. That's how they do that shit.
He filled in the blank for me. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So, and just to backtrack what I was saying, how ruthless it is, we had a couple times where we cut some players who were pretty good players, but they just weren't fitting the scheme in the owner's eyes. So after the game, I'd have to give them a ride, right? But at that level, they're a little cheaper. So I would drive 5 hours to the main airport in Bangor, right down 95, drop them off, pick up the next player, bring them right back. And that was after a 7 o'clock game after we've been prepping the whole day.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, sometimes I sleep right in the airport car just like this. And then pick them up, pick up the next player.
Shit.
It's ruthless in the pros, man. It's ruthless. And those guys, they're making pretty good money, but, 3 to 9, 10, 12 grand a month. And there's some really good players. So anyways, that happened. And then another obstacle happened. The coach I went there with, we were number 1 in the league. Amazing coach. Gets fired.
Why?
Couple players anarchied on him, said he was too rough because he's a military guy. Even though we're number 1 in the league, we're beating everybody. And they took the owner took his side.
So
took the player's side.
Canada doesn't believe in wins over anything else.
I guess not.
Not like the U.S.
No, this woman who was the owner kind of sided with them. And there's usually 4 to 5 Americans per team. You're allowed to have an international player in a lot of these international leagues. So Americans would have been that. So we get that call. That hurt him. Now me and him are roommates at the time. Then the owner calls me in. We want you to step up and be more of a coach and potentially take over the head coaching role.
Okay.
Now me, I grew up from a different cloth.
Loyalty.
Yes. Yes.
There's not a lot of people out there. We had a conversation about character and loyalty.
We did.
It was a great opportunity. I couldn't do it.
My boy brought me in here. I'm not gonna fuck him to make you happy.
Exactly. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm dealing with guys who already did an anarchy. Number 3, at that time, my mom was a little sick, so I wanted to come back and see her.
Yeah.
It wasn't lining up. But overall, like I'm not gonna say, all right, see you, bro. You just called me out of the blue with no experience.
Yeah.
So I left.
Okay.
And that was that was probably 4 months into it. And we were number 1. We were number 1 or number 2 in the league. It was crazy, man. That's how political things got, even at the pro level. So
that's fucked up.
Yeah, this is kind of.
To be honest, that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even.
I think about sometimes I got done dirty, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Feel bad for him.
Exactly, man. So at that time, I'm probably 24, 20. Now I came back with my tail between my legs again, and I had to rent a room at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I started working for this physical therapy center / gym.
Yeah.
And I was just doing desk work and stuff like that. And one of the owners was a very successful guy. He's like a mentor of mine now. After a while, he's like, maybe you think about getting a personal training license certification. You know, it's something I've always kind of done. I was like, all right, I'll think about it. Because I kept getting in trouble for leaving the desk anyway and being in the gym. They'd always yell at me. So I ended up doing that. And then after about 6 months working there, I ended up working at a commercial gym.
Okay.
And that's where I was at for about 4 years. And then from there, we opened up another franchise of that commercial gym.
Yeah.
And I was the personal trainer, director, and the trainer and stuff. So I went and opened up that gym. And after that, after about probably 3 months at that gym, we were hitting sale. You know, we were doing 90,000 in personal training a month. And it was never enough. And then, you know, and I remember there was this one time where we were trying to designate the whole area for group class area. And so we can make money to make it a little more exclusive. Yeah. And then these one members came in and complained, and the owner who was pushing us to do sales went against us and started letting them come in. And I'm thinking, man, I'm running around doing all this. I said, it's time to go, man. It's time to go. He doesn't even have our back. We're doing all this, trying to push I'm thinking, and the whole time, kind of like that internal voice thing that we talked about, we can get into later. I was just kind of annoyed with having a boss. It got to that point.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're in a salary position, you start to do more, and then that salary doesn't push up as much. But your job description gets bigger and bigger. So I ended up leaving. Yeah. And I found another gym, a Gold's Gym, which is Gulf Coast Fitness, where I rented out for the next 6 years as an independent trainer.
Yeah.
And the next day, that gym actually sued me, sent me a deposition because we signed non-competes. They sent a sheriff to the house.
Get the fuck out of here,
for
really?
leaving. 100%.
Not like they don't have like criminal action though, right?
No, it was a deposition, and I guess they never pushed forward with it. I mean, they sent me he dropped it off. I looked at it. I just threw it away. I didn't even look at that.
Hey,
I said, if they want to go to court for me to try to run my own business, I'd love to go to court.
It's
Actually, I
official.
represent myself
it's
on
official.
that.
Big
Oh,
Surge.
I would have got Con because he's
Come
a hell
on,
of
man.
a lawyer. Con's a hell of a lawyer.
Right here.
You already know
Let's
it's
give a round of
happening.
applause for Big Surge right now. He's the only man on the world to have a sheriff officer deliver him personal toilet paper. That's what I'm talking about,
You know what's
baby.
happening.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere.
Hey,
it ain't
fuck
going
that
nowhere.
gym.
It ain't going nowhere.
So that's what happened there, man. And then from there, I ended up renting out this other gym where they would just let trainers pay monthly.
Yeah.
And I started building my business from there.
You know, you have an impact when people hate it when you leave. Like
Yeah.
when they have a
Yes, sir.
real problem, a burning problem, to a point where they have to tell somebody else that this person leaving me hurts. So at that point, it would have hit in my head that I'm onto something. That these people know that I'm the ticket because they're willing to come after me
Yes, sir.
because I'm leaving. So I believe this is just me from the outside looking in, that you were destined for greatness at that particular point, that they knew for a fact by letting him leave, we lost so much of our business. We lost so much of our personability of who we are.
Right.
And now
I want to clap back.
go ahead. And
No, that's it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he said. I wanna clap back.
Right.
So now you instead of having your tail tucked between your legs, you know, your chest should be
Now I
out.
got a
Now.
little
Like,
orange.
you know, I'm the man now,
Yeah.
and I'm running my own show. So tell me,
Exactly.
what was it like? That's 10 years of your life working for someone and working with people in order to develop who you are.
Yes, sir.
What you could have did at the beginning.
Right.
You could have, jumped out there, and just off of your look alone, people would have gravitated towards that because everyone wants to know, what does it take in order to be different. Everyone wants to know, hey, how can I do this? How can I have this?
Right.
And most people don't know. You go into a gym right now, people look at you and they're just, how many sets are you doing? Most people won't go in the gym and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It is
So,
intimidating too.
it's rather
for some
intimidating.
people. It's very intimidating.
That's the reason why they do cardio and all those things because that's easier to go into and correlate and not look like you don't know you're that oddball out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you now, 10 years into it, you're running your own show. What's that like?
Man, that's a great question.
Here's
Yes, sir.
answer this beforehand.
Go ahead, bro.
Do you have a boss?
No boss.
No boss.
Not for 10 years.
Yeah, all right.
I opened up my business 9 years ago.
I got a little fired up here and there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's a
Oh
great
wait, you
feeling.
do what you want when you want? Is that
Absolutely.
That's
That's why,
why
that's why I take so many trips.
I'm so jealous.
shit.
I'm so jealous.
So
Shout out to the kids.
I would say 10 years later, it's a form of autopilot, but there's always something to do.
Yeah.
So there's a benefit of the freedom with your own business,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you can never turn off
Yeah.
if you don't want to. Like there's always something to do in operations, administration. There's just always something to do.
That was the same thing because we just interviewed with Matt. Matt is Baltimore's #1 trainer 4 years in a row.
Shout out to B
Right?
More. B More.
Shout out to my dog. And he said the exact same thing. He goes, I had to ask the question to him, when the fuck do you have your time? What about you? Right? And he's like, there is no me time.
That's
like,
what you have to find.
I planned that out years in advance.
Right.
So I get that answer. I get it.
For sure.
That's I mean, how do you adapt to that? Is that a lifestyle you enjoy, or is it something that kind of gets a little stressful from time to time?
There's definitely some stress there, but I think if you have a certain personality, it fits you. You know, as far as like I've always been the type of person like I like to be active. And, I can't sit at the house. So I'm complaining that I always got to do something, but at the same time,
Deep down, you're like, hey,
yeah, it's like
I
you
wanna
like
do something.
anxious. Yeah,
I want
for
to do
sure.
something. I mean, does it feel like a job?
No, I mean that's the cool thing is that there has been spans where you like what you do a lot and you work with people that it doesn't feel like a job sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there's times where it's like, okay, I have so much to do that you still got to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
There's no way around that.
Yeah,
That's why the whole follow your passion thing's cool, but you're still gonna have to do accounting. You're gonna have to do, you have to meet with an accountant, do the P&L stuff. You're gonna have to do operation stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to set up wires. It's like there's always something you don't want to do. You got to do that. That's discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's discipline, man.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of juiced up right now.
Yeah, I mean,
that
that
was that literally relating back. I swear to God, dude, our podcasts are coming full fucking circle.
It has
Remember
to.
Batman? Batman said the first thing he said, the first step that he would recommend to anybody that's trying to really change their lifestyle a little bit or change whatever they're doing, right? First step, right? Discipline and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Being disciplined in the daily habit of stuff that's not the fun part, right? Waking up, eating right, going to the gym, do this, do that, right? All the boring shit. When you make that a habit and you make that part of the routine, that's the part that we're talking about. And it's like, it's great to hear that from two individuals that have literally grown a fucking business from the ground up themselves. So I think that's fucking awesome. I think that's a great moment.
Great point.
That's a great moment to celebrate right there.
So now tell me, throughout those 10 years, you had COVID. So what happened when the world shut down?
COVID was an interesting time, man. COVID, everybody has COVID stories.
Yeah, everybody has COVID.
COVID sucked asshole.
Yeah, COVID.
I really enjoyed it. It goes
Yes,
to
sir.
your own individual person. Speaks for themselves.
What the fuck, bro?
These
We're
Apple
supposed to be
Watches.
professional.
These Apple Watches is something else. People always want to connect with you, but nevertheless, you going through you go through COVID.
Yes.
And people have to social distance from themselves, so they can't.
They couldn't work out.
They couldn't work out. So what does that look like for someone that just became an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Started to run his own show, still starting to feel his chest poking out.
Yep.
I'm the man, and now
And then boom, COVID hit.
the world shuts down.
Man, it was interesting. So I was probably 5 years in, I guess, in 2020, maybe 6 years in. Then COVID hits in 2020. Things start shutting down. The gym that I was working at, everybody was kind of independent trainer. Yeah. So we still kept open. And what we did was we found a loophole that as long as there was less than 10 people in so much of a square foot place, it would be considered a recreational activity. Yeah. So I still had, if I would average 20 to 30 clients I'm working with, I still had about 4 or 5 that still wanted to work. Yeah. That's not a lot, but it's something.
It is.
And then Con and I was talking a little earlier that by the grace of God, I had started an online fitness company, my online coaching program a year prior.
Okay, explain your online coaching program. Explain in depth what's that.
And what that entails is that I do your workout programming, your meal prep, grocery list, set up a schedule for you, and then you can follow along with my app and have access to it. And then every 4 to 6 weeks, we change the programming. And it's all customized to where you're at currently. Because that's the problem is a lot of people just do workouts, but you got to see where you're at and then build that foundation from there. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we set up the workout plan and the meal plan to grow with you as you progress.
It's especially hard when someone walks in the gym and they've only been there, say, 2 or 3 times in their entire lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. So say you have, like, for instance, me, I'm 295 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. But at the same time, believe it or not, I got a little fucking muscle in here.
He is an athlete. He's an ex-athlete.
But your boy was actually figuring, I know how to carry this weight, and I know I can walk into a gym and I can do probably some of the highest level workouts there is.
Right.
Because I do work out daily, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you have another person that's never been in that environment, walking at 300 pounds, they're not going to be able to do fucking box jumps.
Exactly. And they probably shouldn't.
And they probably
To be honest with you, I wouldn't start them there.
You need to strengthen a lot of the shit that goes on
100%,
first, right?
100%. And that's where people get discouraged.
Yes.
You want to come in and you've never worked out before and you want to jump into a CrossFit workout. Now, there are some good CrossFit gyms that will build you up. I'm nothing against CrossFit. But if you jump into these intense workouts and you've never worked out before, you will get discouraged. You might get an injury. You might get over soreness. It's just you need to start where you're at and build up from there.
Yeah.
So is your program set for like any type of
anybody
workout? I mean eating regimen like the vegans and so on and so forth?
Yes, we can customize it for anybody.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think people want to know that because not everybody eats the same.
For sure.
You're just dealing with a different generation where everything is centered around them.
Right.
So if it's personalized, it makes it feel just that much better. And not just the workouts, because my body type and your body type is different, although we look similar in that regard.
Exactly.
We just
you're a lot
train
darker,
different.
but
yeah, just a little bit.
We both got bald heads, though.
Yeah.
Bald heads are winning, by the way.
Yeah, but
just letting you guys
I
know.
call it Charlie Sheenan. Charlie Sheenan. Long hair don't care over here.
Long hair don't care.
I'm just letting you know Charlie Sheenan.
So, all right. So one more thing, and then we'll dive into this, but I thought the cool thing was tell me a little bit about some of the things I had touched on the social media stuff. So you were actually filming training videos across the world.
Yeah. So
The fuck was that like? Like, what was the coolest fucking place you went to, man?
oh man,
And what kind of shit did you see, bro?
well, I've been to 3 of the 7 wonders of the world.
Okay.
So I've been to the Great Wall of China,
All right.
Damn.
all right.
which was amazing.
How old are you?
What am I now? Shit, I don't even think about age. 35.
35.
I'm 35,
My
yeah.
man's 35, and let's be real.
35.
They say 60 is the new 40, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So he's not even halfway.
no, middle
My
age
man's
is 40
almost
to
been
60.
halfway like around the 7 wonders of the world.
He got 4 more. Go ahead. So you
Okay,
went to
so been to China, the Great Wall of China, also Machu Picchu, which is in Peru, which
Yeah.
is an amazing place. You know,
Yeah.
that's built by the Incas and stuff like that. Way up in the mountains, and then also Chichen Itza, which is in Mexico, which is in Yucatan, Mexico. So
That's
that's
wild.
which is I mean, these pyramids are 110 feet, massive. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just mind blowing, man.
Thousands of years old.
Thousands of years.
my
old.
man-
it's,
my
it's
man-
unreal. It changes your life,
Dude,
man.
my man filmed himself doing burpees on him.
So I had to do a few push-ups right next to
Yeah.
some people want to drop a tear. I got to do a little workout. you know?
Yeah,
It's-
that's what I'm saying.
no matter where you at, you can still get it in.
That's what I'm saying.
Know that.
My
Just
man
know
was
that.
jacked up,
In every aspect.
like Tina Turner before
Yes,
she
sir.
got smacked up. What? So, dude,
Yes,
that's
sir.
amazing. Honestly, I got to give you a lot of kudos for that because I'm honestly, I have the want and the need for travel. But at the same time, though, like
Mhm.
I'm always so singularly focused. Like,
Mhm.
what happens if I leave? Like, what if
Yes.
this business fails or this happens or this happens? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like, I really think that this is where I need to go. I need to just let the fuck go. Because sometimes I get so worried about what I'm not
Right.
going to be able to accomplish at home.
Yes.
And you can see the happiness in this dude's face when he's talking about
Well,
all these places.
This will be my answer to you is that when you go to a place like this that just you've never seen before,
Yeah.
you actually come back re-energized and with new ideas.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, you're more welcome.
God damn.
Yeah.
You're more
You're recharged. You gotta. Yep.
You're in the present moment.
Yes.
I always tell people like I just need to travel to where I'm present.
Yeah.
100%.
It doesn't even matter whether I'm leaving the U.S.
Yeah.
or if I'm here in the U.S.
Mhm.
I just want to be in the present moment. Sometimes we get into a routine of life and we just look forward to that next hour,
Yes.
that next.
So-
I'll wait till 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So now that we've heard about all the fucking great
And
things.
let me just touch on one other thing. We talked about stress with business.
yes.
You got. I feel like you got to find things that decompress you. And for me, with my personality, was to get away and take a little trip here and there,
Yeah.
even if it's 3 days, 4 days, or a week. So I would do that a couple times a year, and I would come back refreshed.
You know what's fucked up? Like, we've interviewed a lot of people. And to
Mhm.
be honest, like, every time we interview somebody, like, real special, you know what I'm saying? I feel more and more like a piece of shit.
I just get, a lot
probably
of.
says this every podcast.
No. It's
You
just.
got the,
He says this every podcast.
No, we just got a little
best
jealousy.
trainer in Fort Myers, right? The #1 trainer in Baltimore, going across the world doing this. Social influencer, owners of dealerships, all this shit, right? And then I'm sitting like, we're like fucking 8 in. Damn, I ain't done shit. With
I ain't
my
do
life.
nothing. All I did was make kids. All I did was
make kids.
That's
Shit.
it. That's it. That's
Damn,
it.
That's
I
a
need to
blessing.
step my
I'm
game
a
up.
professional at that. I can tell you that. Go ahead.
Hey. So, all right, let's do this. So we're gonna hit our next segment. So obviously we've seen some of the accomplishments, some of the things that you've done with your life, which are amazing. But everybody has that one bad decision. That one bad decision that led to a great
I like how his eyebrows got
outcome,
up. I like how his eyebrows
Right, the
went
bad decision, because we have a big sign in the podcast room. This is one time. Next time you're a guest, you need to come back to the pod, right?
Yeah.
And
Make it
in there,
full
we got a
circle.
big neon sign that says bad decisions make better stories.
Okay.
Right. So give us what is the bad decision that you've made, and you can dive into the guilt you may have felt, but actually ended up being a great outcome.
Man, that's interesting. I think a lot of the mistakes trying to continue on with sports,
Yeah.
and being injured, going to these places that, I mean, I feel like they were bad decisions, but depending on your perspective, it turns into a good decision.
Yeah.
I've been in long relationships where there was breakups during COVID after 6-7 years where you feel like it's the end of the world, but really it's refreshing because
Yeah.
it wasn't the right person to be by your side.
Yeah.
Even if you do feel betrayed.
Yeah.
I think that there's also things I could have done better. Maybe starting the business, being a little more professional, or
Yeah.
with tracking accounting and things like that.
Mhm.
I think one bad decision is hard for me to zero in on. I've made a bunch of them.
We all do. We
Yeah.
all do.
But I really feel that, with failures or with these certain decisions, I think sometimes they'll push you in the right direction or where you need to go.
See
And
that?
sometimes it's more of an obstacle. It's like a wake up call.
That's fucking awesome. I think that's the biggest reason for the segment.
I always tell people you can't make success without failure. You have to do that, and there's no such things. And there's no such thing as mistakes.
You got to, man.
I mean, because
that's the only way you learn.
That's how we learn. I mean, if you don't have, there's no map in life. There's no guideline to show you what's going to be the best version of Surge without you having that experience.
We interrupt this episode to bring you Joe's Backyard Barbecue, a delicious, amazing, gourmet-type backyard barbecue meal with the most amazing service and the most amazing person that you can have at the helm, cooking those amazing ribs, the amazing brisket, and all the wonderful spices and barbecue sauce that you can imagine. So if you're in the Lake Worth, Florida area, make sure you go and see your boy Joe at Joe's Backyard Barbecue. And now, back to the episode.
So you going throughout life and just dealing with the trials and tribulations, you can't pinpoint that very moment where it was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have did that. I probably shouldn't do that. Like you talked about your relationship, dating somebody for six years.
Getting betrayed, getting cheated on, stuff like that. That hurts, but
that's not really a bad decision. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what it just came to me though as we're thinking about this is that when you have these expectations for like sports, and things go wrong, there's a lot of times like in high school when I wanted to, maybe I should have played a certain level and I'd be mad at the coach and hold that grudge. Or at the college level when I got hurt, I should have been treated differently. I think a bad decision, which sounds weird, is that trying to put the blame on someone else.
Hey,
okay.
Trying to put the blame on someone else when I think that we have to take ownership of our own mistakes and we can grow from it. Or because I feel like when we push it off a lot, you can't really grow from it.
You create negative culture in that arena, yeah, and then you start becoming what people would refer to as a cancer in the society, right?
For sure, and to yourself.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from because I mean, we had a couple people that we played ball with, and I remember there was one particular joke. I'm not going to drop name drops, but I mean, he was a good dude overall, but at the same time, like he was a lot like a lot of people in that realm. When you're 20 and 21, you're fucking selfish as shit majority of the time, but. For sure. Somebody said played a prank on him. Said, "Hey man, yeah, you're not traveling. You're not traveling to the game." He's like, "All right, then y'all gonna get your ass beat." And it was like, okay then, like you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, hey, appreciate it, bro.
Good luck, guys.
But at the same time, like that creates a negative culture. So I get where you're coming from. I totally get where you're coming from.
Well, it creates in my example, it's going to create a negative culture in your own
mindset. Your own
temple, your own being.
You immediately go to that
self-destruct.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great example, dude. Great example of that. I'm gonna take that one step further because I've been in a job that I was in for a very long time. Remember, Batman and I did that job, and I got to be honest. Towards the end, like I got real fucking spiteful because there was a lot of things that they did that I don't agree with. And to this day, if anybody looked at it, you'll say yes, what they did was wrong. But at the same time, like I compounded it. I turned myself into just a negative fucking creature for a long time, and it got to a point where there's certain people in my life that all of a sudden were like, man, I don't you know what I'm saying? Like they started giving me the fucking Drake, like, you know what I'm saying? Like nah bro, like, and then all of a sudden when I left, you have a reevaluation moment and you're like, damn, I'm a real negative dude right now. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, bro, I don't want my son to be that way. No. I don't want my daughter to be that way. You know? I don't want my wife to be that way. Like, damn, I need to fix this shit. So I get it. I totally get it. I mean,
just to go, piggyback off that, I always tell people fitness and health, it changes your mindset as well. I tell everyone I want to be in the best shape, mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Definitely.
But in order for me to do that, I have to hold myself accountable to everything that happens.
Yeah.
Not just what that person did. Like, you were in a relationship for 6 years and she did this. What could I have done better?
What could I...
And what can I change going forward for my next relationship? How can I use the experiences that I've had to help me in my next experiences, in my next chapter? Dude. So he's on chapter 35. So in chapter 36, I can't relive the same mistakes that I did in chapter 35. I mean, you can have those same experiences because, God forbid, you're going to have birthdays, funerals, and weddings. Yeah. Those are going to happen, but they're going to be different people. And I have to have a different experience each and every time when I do those things.
Yeah.
So it leads me to my next question, Serge. Like, now that you're here, what would you have told yourself, the younger version of you, 10 years ago, today?
Oh, Who wrote these questions?
You know,
Not gonna lie, we usually
Someone,
don't plan shit.
some intelligent guy wrote
You
these
mean
questions.
so-
We usually don't plan shit, but I'm glad we sound good.
yeah, it sounds good. You know, that's primarily it. So,
I would say things take a little longer than you think.
mhm.
And have confidence to start earlier. Have confidence to start earlier, man. You know, and don't be afraid to fail. Like, you got to take the shots. I would take even more risks, which I plan on taking more risks in the near future.
Got you. Chapter 36 got to be different than chapter
100%.
35. So
Because a lot of times we hold ourselves back. You know, I think when a lot of issues we have, I would have, or someone in the past would have, is that you compare yourself to where someone is currently.
Yeah.
You know, I compare myself to Bruck. He's got all the money.
Mhm. we know he
Why
got
the
the
fuck
big.
does
he
everybody say that
he
shit?
got the big truck. Starts there.
I had to mess with him on
Don't
that.
go to me.
He told me not to
Starts
say
there.
that.
It starts there.
No, but you compare yourself, and when everybody's on their own path,
Mhm.
you know, and me wanting to always be the boss of myself, sometimes is a longer path, because at the same, you know, I would say, you would tend to want to do things on your own.
Yeah.
When you always need, you know, you need workers, you need support, you need some type of group. So that's a longer path for me. But definitely, you know, just have more confidence to take more risks. Don't worry about failures, because there's really not. Just learn from it, and that's going to be growth along the path. And I would say that. Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I think whenever you do something alone, you're gonna hit your head a whole lot more.
Yeah.
If I do it together with people, then you hit your head, and it keeps me from making that mistake.
Yeah,
you hit
for
your
sure.
head, and we all learn from each other. But if I do it by myself, I got to be okay with the bumps in the road.
Right.
So now that you know that's what you would have done, you know, make a whole lot more mistakes. I mean, make a whole lot more mistakes and take risks. 10 years from now, what does it look like for Surge? What does that growth look like?
Well, I know by 40, I want to be financially free to where I could basically have the ability to retire. The growth would mean just to put myself in a situation where I have enough financial resources and assets to be, you know, basically have financial freedom that I could help more. Because what I haven't told you guys is actually I've been volunteering. Now I'm coaching basketball at high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I just do
Damn.
that because I wanted to start working back with youth and mentoring youth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think would be financially to be able to expand my business more online, be able to help more people.
Yeah.
Through health and wellness and fitness.
Yeah.
And create that freedom so I can give back and help more of the kids.
Got you. So if the
Yeah,
world
mentor
shuts
the
down,
kids.
so if the world shuts down again, you still want to be able to just ride the wave and be just fine in that regard. There's
Yes,
no
sir.
ifs, ands, buts about it.
That would be the goal right there.
So 45-year-old Surge is a high school basketball coach, winning championships. That's what it is. Just
Exactly.
giving back to the youth, seeing their smiles, seeing that youthful joy that comes into
Yes.
it. And he's also going to be a dad at that point. Like
I would
by that
imagine
point, he is inspiring to.
Wait. Hold on. What?
You know, from
But said he's gonna be a father.
yeah, just about what he's trying to say is he's ready to go in debt.
Turn into a psychic.
You know, I'm just throwing it out there. He's ready to go in debt. You know, because these kids cost. I'm just throwing that out there too.
Ready to go in debt.
It's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I'm trying to tell you, my son eats more than I eat. But at the end of the day, he's growing. He has to
Right.
grow. So I look forward to the days in which he out eats me.
Absolutely.
I want to see the potential of something that I seen grow from, small to being just as big as
Yes.
me, if not bigger.
Definitely.
So I want that for you as well.
Definitely.
So that's
And
why
want
I
that as
speak it
well in
into
the future.
existence. Like 45-year-old Surge is with a 6-year-old, 7-year-old son looking just like him with long hair, because I remember Surge with hair. I don't remember Surge
Remember
bald.
that shit?
Remember I had hair
Dude,
for a
I
little bit?
remember that
I remember
shit.
him going like this, having all the ladies. But nevertheless, that's a whole lot
You
different,
got
Surge.
past the shaggy stage.
Yeah.
You know, most people quit once it starts flailing
while.
out. That's what I'm saying, bro.
One time I got them braids and I had a headache for a week.
I
That was
know,
horrible.
bro.
Listen,
I don't
Shit's
know how-
wild.
I'm excited about it. Look, he had hair in college. I never had hair. He's always known me bald. So I have that problem.
You were ahead of the time, bro.
Yeah, I
will
was ahead of
say that.
time.
You
I'm-
and Michael Jordan.
Bald at 17.
Literally.
Shout out to my
Just ahead
dad.
of the time.
Shout out to my dad.
Listen.
Bad genes. so it goes along with it. I'm excited about that. Bro, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, dude, your hairline looked like I-75 in college.
Oh man.
shit waved.
Hey. Just listen to me. And anybody, Molly Mall, I'm gonna give him a shout out on this one. The Beijing King.
I'm just saying, the
I'm
Beijing
letting you
King.
know right now.
Hey man,
sir.
how
My
you gonna
hair-
look good? I'm gonna draw that shit.
I'm
on
gonna
now.
draw it on. I'm gonna do the Carlos Boozer. Listen,
That's classic.
sharp. Bet you my hairline look better than
came
yours.
out, dude. That shit looks shiny.
Yes.
That looks shiny as
Yes.
fuck. No, dude, it looked like a washable marker that
So
he drew all over the top.
what he did,
That was not
anybody
good,
that doesn't know the Beijing, you don't go out on the first date. You don't. You take a shower and let it look natural and let it fade in.
Okay.
Carlos said, "Forget it. I'm gonna just go out there and let it look like a permanent marker and call it a day."
I'm out here trying to shine.
Yeah, I'm trying to shine.
in,
I'm trying
man.
to
Draw
shine.
it in.
I didn't have that. I understood my audience. That's what I needed
Damn it.
in that regard. So
not good.
go ahead. I want to go with the advertisement of today.
Yeah.
You
So our advertisement of today, I'm not gonna lie. So we switched it up. So we're gonna be here. Big Surge is gonna be our ad for the day. So give me another shout out.
Hey, definitely a shout out, guys. If you're looking to get fit, get healthy, need some guidance, check out my coaching program online. We take care of the workouts, we take care of meal prep, and we guide you along the way as you progress.
Yeah.
And it's for
What's-
every level, every ages.
What's the websites you got?
You go www.surgefittraining.com.
Searchfittraining.com.
Yes, sir.
And you're based out of Fort Myers, right?
Yeah, we're based out of Fort Myers, and it doesn't matter where you live. And you know what? If you watch the podcast, you get we'll do a free 2 weeks. You try it.
Okay. Hey, listen,
Hey,
everybody
Just mention
needs
bro
help.
Or con.
Yeah. Everybody
bro.
needs help. Everybody needs help. There's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, just help me get on the right path." And you're just being a part of that. I tell everyone I used to be a trainer,
Yeah.
and it was nothing more fulfilling seeing somebody accomplish their goal.
Yes.
Serge is living his life to see people change and become the person that they set out to be. This is their entire vision. This is their entire goal. He's just a part of the process.
Just a part of it. Just
So
help the guy.
to
That's
be
it.
a part of that story at
awesome.
35, by 36, I'm going to look the way I want to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so you know, we've had multiple people lose 50 pounds, put on 12 pounds of muscle. Got clients that have lost 160 pounds.
We have multiple people get dates from hot ass bitches.
I mean, just to understand that I
Got
would
7-year-old guys who date 26-year-old
Yeah.
girls. That's a true
you go.
story.
I mean, that's Fort Myers. That's
true story.
That's Fort Myers. That's Fort Myers. You know what I mean? I can't wait till I'm
After
70.
you're
I'm
done
letting you know
working out
right now.
Surge Fit, you know what I'm saying? You can officially apply to be just like Leo DiCaprio. You know, you only date 26 and under. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The moment you turn 27.
Damn.
Drop
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Drop it like a bad
So-
habit.
Hey, man. So, getting back into it, there was another question before we get into another segment, but I wanted to ask you this because we had brought it up a little bit earlier. The shit was
Yes.
dope. So we actually reconnected at a football banquet, right?
Yes, we did.
We're out in
Yeah,
the parking lot. And, you know, we're a few Guinnesses for the worst at this point. And we're just kind of bullshitting. And I'm asking Sir, like, hey, man, what you been up to, right? And he's kind of giving me the quick version of it.
Yes, I remember this.
And I remember I looked right at him. I said, bro, you haven't changed at all. And he's like, what? And I'm like, bro, all your life is set up to be free.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't
He
want
literally
to be,
said this, Con.
Literally, I was like, bro, you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
And I thought about it for like the next 6 months. I'm like, he's actually right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy you said that because I'm trying to figure out is that an internal voice?
Yeah.
You know, like where does that come from?
Where does that
If we could
deep
get
motivation
here for a
come
second,
from?
because I was asking Con before we started, do you feel after like the 16 years that you still have like an internal goal? I mean, not saying like work wise, like, oh, I knew I was going to do this, this, and this, but is there an internal voice that still has guided you to where you're at now, like where you guys are at now, seeing
Yeah.
a lot of entrepreneurship, seeing this whole thing grow? And
I'm going to be honest
just
with
very
you.
curious with that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I had my own set of goals, and becoming a dad changes your whole perspective because it's no longer about me.
Yes, sir.
I shift all that energy and attention to the person that I'm raising. I'm giving him the best experience on life, not best experience in a sport, but on life. Like you're going to win and lose in that sport. Some things are outside of your control, but in life, we're going to learn and live. So as long as you keep living, you're going to keep learning. And I want him to have the best adulthood, but that means you got to make a lot of mistakes as a child. And you have to be comfortable in yourself. You have to stay in the mindset where I'm healthy. I am sharp in the mind. I'm sharp in my tools. All my tools I can use at any given time. And understanding when you're looking at the world, they see you. Whenever you walk into a room, they see you.
Wow.
There is no room where you walk in and they just ignore you. You're present and be present in all aspects of life. So my goal, looking towards the future, is making sure he's financially stable to where he can take those risks. He can have his own business and doesn't have a boss.
That's awesome.
I'll have a boss so you don't have one. And so that's where I take life, and I take it by the bull, and I'll say I'll take all the lashes. A lot of parents say that, man, I'll give me all the lashes so he doesn't have it. He's going to make his own mistakes. He's just going to have my financial backing. Right. So when it comes to Bruck, I don't know where you're at.
What about you, Bruck?
I almost cried right there. That shit was dope. I'm allowed to joke at that because I've heard that answer several times. But we've talked about this several times. Yeah. So just driving in the car, just bullshitting at night, you know, having a beer, whatever. I got to tell you, man, mine's a little bit more fucking simplistic. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to fucking get rich, get fat. I mean, fuck. That's all. I mean, when I was coming out and I first got to college, right, I did the same thing. I'm going to go to the NFL, right?
Everybody. Right?
Very quickly. When I was about, sophomore year, I realized, hey, man, that shit's not happening. So
I still believe it. I held on to the dream.
Hey,
to the knee gave out.
You had to pull out. There's about 100,000 and you're pulling sticks. I did not pull the short one, so I didn't make it, right? But real quick, dude, honestly, I just wanted to fucking make money. That was the biggest thing. I didn't want to be broke.
Yep.
I hated being broke. And every time we were in college, bro, my God, we'd work our ass off like 80 hours in 2 weeks, right? Get a check for $300. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Those are the best times, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we had a great time. Don't get it twisted.
For sure.
There's nothing better after a few margaritas and pulling in the Taco Bell drive-thru, baby. About 1 a.m.
Highlights.
BB5 layer.
But at the same time, like that was kind of the internal drive. But I think as I've gotten older, it has evolved. The same ideal is there, but it's not necessarily just about money anymore. It's about just how can I help as much as possible? How can I kind of drive a little bit to motivate other people, teach other people, do this? Because one thing I've learned, the way I grew up, which some people know a little bit about it with, the first pod, how I grew up wasn't always the best. There was a lot of trials and tribulations coming through that, but I was able to get through it. And now I'm sitting in a lifestyle where it's like, damn, I didn't make it, but at the same time, I made it.
You made it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
all
all right, cool. What can I do to pass that along? Pull back, reach someone else up, pull someone else up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Denzel Washington on that one. That's where I got that. But at the same time, that's kind of been the motivation to still be successful and to drive businesses and to do all that cool shit. But now it's shifting. How can I teach someone else to do this? How can I show them or give them a not necessarily the individual steps to do it, but a footpath? You don't have to do it my way, right? You can do anything any which kind of way. You can skin a cat 100 different ways. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So that's kind of what's evolved a little bit in my brain. But you had a great point because you had me thinking the moment you told me you were thinking about it. I was like, fuck, now I'm thinking about it. Shit.
And I know you probably just thought you were just blabbering along, but
at the same time, I was like, shit, damn.
There's something that's driving us sometimes.
It is. There's the internal force that you have for you to be you.
And that'd be my one advice to people is that if you want to be an entrepreneur or whatever you want to be, is you got to be true to yourself.
Yes.
Instead of saying, follow your passions, figure out what you're good at.
Yeah.
Or what you're inspired to do, and be true to yourself, and or understand your skills that you have or skills that you want to develop.
Yeah.
And be true to yourself. So if you're someone that you need to be, your own boss and you're working in a 9 to 5, you're just going to internally beat yourself up. It's going to be better to jump out and take that risk.
I say that. I'm gonna stop. The reason why I say it's okay to have a boss is because somebody else has to take those lashes. For my mistakes,
there's nothing wrong with having a boss.
Somebody has to take those lashes, and like I said,
but at the same time, fuck that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. It's like when Serge said he got sued. Yeah. If he had more equity, they would have really came after him. And got.
See, that's a little big, right?
You mean
that is what the
I
fuck?
definitely didn't have any equity.
That's what I'm saying. You was making 30,000. You mean
no equity.
Coaching?
He said, at the time when you got sued, you weren't with shit.
He wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth it. Now, when you
is he right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, when you have something, you want to protect that
for sure.
So that's why I said it's okay to have someone else get sued. Hey, baby, everybody gets sued. As long as you're going to be successful, you're going to be sued. I don't know. Donald Trump was our president, but he got sued an awful lot because he was successful to a degree.
Yeah.
So in order to have that, I'd rather somebody else take those lashes.
Yeah.
While I'm hitting my learning curve, you take those lashes. Now, once I feel like I got it, it's just like my son when I taught him how to ride a bike.
Let me take off.
I'm gonna hold it while he's falling. I'm grabbing him. He's falling. I'm grabbing him. And once he was able to do it by himself, he didn't even realize I let him go.
Wow.
And that's important. That's where I'm at in life. It's like once I got it by myself, watch out.
And you know, building on what he's saying there is what I mean by being true to yourself is that it's so popular now, like with social media and stuff. Oh, I need to be my boss, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. It's like there's nothing wrong with one being an employee. There's nothing wrong with one being your boss, but you got to be true to yourself and your skills to what you really want to and pursue towards that. You know, and at the same time, yeah, they say follow your passions, but you're still gonna have to do stuff you don't want to do.
Yes,
if you really want to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, and make sure it's lucrative because I can open up a lemonade stand and enjoy it, but it's not gonna be lucrative for me as an adult to pay my bills. So make sure your passion has profit. If it doesn't, then go work for somebody until you figure that part out. It's okay to put 8 hours in for someone else so you can put 8 hours in for you. You still have 8 hours of rest that you can take. It's just doing the best with the time that you have. That's so important.
100%.
That's fucking valuable. So we'll dive it into, man. We'll go into our last segment. Joe's Spice of the Month. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
this is actually my favorite one. I found myself like Googling shit, like trying to, come up. Oh, what happened to me this past month? Fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, have you gone over this at all? Have you seen it? No, we actually haven't released it.
I have
yet.
no clue.
Yeah,
So this will be, yes. Well, when you guys are watching this, we haven't released it, but either way. So Joe's Spice of the Month, right? So you talk about your vibe that hit you in the last month that you remember right off the dome. That's the one that had the most effect on you. And it can be anything that ranges from deep. It can be anything that ranges from fun. So mind you, like he had one that said, I was Christmas shopping with my son and, a guy stopped us and he said, "You're not done shopping, right?" And he said, "Yeah, you see all these toys?" And the guy slipped him $100 and he said, no, he's a kid. Come on.
Make it better.
Make it better. You know what I'm saying? That was his vibe.
Yes.
My vibe on that same day was the fact that sometimes you can't sleep at night. And sometimes you get up, you walk into that kitchen, and you see that sweet-ass midnight snack. You know what I'm saying?
We all do it.
And it's in the moment that you see it, you're just like, I know this is going to fucking smack, and then I'm going to go to sleep. You know what I mean? That was my vibe that month. So it can be really anything that you want it to be, something that really, really kills it. So.
I'll kick it off. My vibe of the month, we just celebrated a holiday. It was one of those turkey days. You got to go out there and play ball. We all play football, so we know what it's like to go out there.
Yes.
I won the Turkey Day MVP, got 4 interceptions. Could have had 5, but I couldn't catch. Saved my life. That's the reason why I played defense.
Yes.
Nevertheless, I go out there and I realize these older gentlemen.
Yes.
While every time I got a pick, I'm taking it to the house. And you thought I had a 4-leaf clover. How I was just taking these things back. And they're older, so they're not chasing me. And I was wondering, why are they not chasing me? Like, I'm over here doing the Dion, going into the end zone. And they said, "Young blood, you got to go to work the next day. You got to wake up tomorrow." And you're over here exhausted, putting yourself out there. After the game, I had my leg elevated. I'm putting icy hot on my body. You realize you're not as young as you used to be going out there putting balls to the wall.
For sure.
So
my boy called me right there the next fucking day. He said, "Hey man, your boy needs an oil change."
completely.
It says a little rusty.
So no matter how good you feel in that moment, make sure you're setting yourself up for the next day. So I was excited winning, Turkey Day Award, winning the championship. But I should have lost. It's okay to lose.
I should have lost.
Don't be competitive in everything you do.
Yes.
Losing ain't always bad. But it was fun to win in that regard.
Was the vibe.
That's a great point.
That's a great point. I'm going back to you, sir.
Okay, mine it's a little bit past a month, if that's all right
that's
with y'all.
fine.
Go ahead.
The vibe would be okay. So in this area we got hit by Ian.
Yes.
We got hit hard, man.
Yeah, y'all got trash.
Well, I was living 3 miles from the beach, so we had the water surge come in about 6 feet. And fortunately, I was upstairs.
Yeah.
In a property that I had just sold by the grace of God in June, but I was renting it back, and I was upstairs. And so during the storm, all of a sudden I hear a knock on the door. In the middle of the storm, so we went open the door, and it was this Spanish couple, and they needed to come in, so they came in. I was like, "Yeah, no problem. Just like come in, of course."
Yeah.
So the water was rising. We seen people swimming out of their houses. So I said, "Anybody else? Just let them know. Come on by."
Yeah.
21 people later.
Holy shit.
You got a party.
Damn.
21 people later. We had 21 people that came in. So now,
Wow.
not to doom and gloom. Everybody ended up being okay. There was in that area, but that area got just smashed, man. 3 miles from the beach in the Iona area. But I remember this. So it's about 11 o'clock at night. Everybody's already safe. Mexican and Guatemalan families are there.
Yeah.
They're laughing, giggling. You know, like it's normal. They were very quiet. Then we all went to bed at the same time in different rooms. Like I had a 3-bedroom house at the time, and I just remember they were still enjoying the moment. They were happy. They just flooded. Everything was flooded out.
Fuck.
And that vibe was still like, you know what? We've already been. I can only imagine what they've been through before that, as being immigrants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That at this moment in time, we're alive, so let's enjoy the moment.
Enjoy it. Living in the moment. That's crazy. That's a real, surreal moment. Like that
was crazy, man.
And they were grateful just to be alive and having a place to go. So
exactly.
you're amazing for that.
Yeah,
because
a
lot of people close the door.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't tell you what I would.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's a really good vibe. Holy fuck! So
it was a good vibe, man.
God damn. You know what? Ed,
He's always putting.
We're gonna stop this segment because every time mine's dog shit compared to the one before. That's bullshit. So it
the
makes
most humble guy in the world, right?
It's fucking bullshit. So all right. So put yourself into close your eyes. Don't really do that. But here's the thought process. So imagine you guys have something that you live, breathe, and die for, some type of hobby, right? Mine is football, right? I love football. Love Carolina.
Yeah,
right?
Win, lose, or draw. Baker Show.
Fuck Baker Mayfield. I'm so sorry. I was keen on it at the beginning of the season, but I really died out probably about 2 games in. Just 15 short.
Yeah.
So you guys know when you're going through, and I'm going to use sports as an example here. You're going through the season, and you realize your team just fucking, it's just not happening.
Yep.
This is not your year.
They still can do good.
But about a month before that, before the season started, you're telling everybody,
We're ready.
This is our fucking year. This is
It's
my
always
year.
their year.
Yeah.
This is it. This is my year.
Before it
Like
starts.
we got the roster lineup. We got everything set up. We got the everything's fucking happening.
It's a 1 in 32.
You know what I'm
chance.
saying? It's a 1 in 32 chance. All right, but that one on my team looks more like a 4. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else got a 1, but I got a 4 times better chance than everyone else.
Okay.
That's what I felt like. So fast forward, you realize Carolina's 3-7, dropped 3-8, then 4-8, right? But that moment,
They getting a participation award. Go ahead.
fuck that participation award. So that moment when you have tickets to go see that event or that game or whatever it is for your big hobby, right? And you get there after having a terrible season, you go to watch this game live, and all of a sudden they perform just like you thought they could.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah.
So I sit there for 4.5 hours in a football game where we're beating the shit out of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm just looking around and I'm happy as fuck. I don't need beers. I don't need anything. I'm just looking around like, damn, this is that vibe.
Yeah.
And you're in that moment where your team, where you had all those expectations completely fucking failed, but they show that moment where you're like, we could be that.
Yeah. We can play with anybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just have that little moment, a spurt of fucking greatness where you're like, I know they got it.
Right.
We just got to put it together.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Great example of this. Whenever you go golfing, fucking suck at golfing.
Trash.
Terrible.
Trash.
Do you golf at all?
Once in a while.
Once in a
I
while.
have
All
golfed
right.
a little bit.
But then
Not
there's always that one shot.
Sometimes you hit it good though.
Sometimes you hit
hit a
that
good
one
chip, a
shot
good
that
putt.
you're like, damn, this
Feels
game
good
is
still.
so cool.
I'm Tiger Woods.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm Tiger.
Like that's it. I'm Tiger Woods, baby. All I gotta do is just get out here a little bit more,
That's
baby.
it. That's it. With the
That's
girl.
what I'm saying. So when you hit that, things are going a little bit rough. It's not what you thought it would be. But then you have that one little moment where just everything goes right and you're like, I know I can make this something. I know my team can pull this out. We still got it in us. That was the moment for me. Made me feel real good about myself.
That's good. So we're gonna come to a conclusion on that regard. I mean, on that note, I want to just tell you, hey, like and subscribe. You know, just like me.
Oh, yeah.
That's primarily it. And go follow Big Surge.
Please go and follow Big Surge. We have already announced a couple of them. You're going to see a couple more promos for him too. But like I said, such an amazing human being and an amazing person and a guy that even if you have an opportunity to see him in the fucking street, stop him and talk to him because this is a guy that gives great advice. Been through all kinds of different journeys at such a young portion of his life. You know what I mean? And like and subscribe. You know everything that he's got as well. So if you get the opportunity, make sure you make the connection because it's one that you will never regret making.
Yeah, of course. He's 3 years away from making Little Surge as well. So just
sir.
Y'all keep that in mind.
I'm still practicing.
Practice makes person. Signing off on you. Go.
Deuces.
What you doing? Yeah, I'm back in that. Hey, where you going? Hey.